everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you some recommendations of the enemies to lovers trope. So let's go right into this video because I'm really excited to do this recommendation video. So the first book I recommend is Bully by Penelope Douglas. This obviously is a bully romance. As you can tell by the title, I read this, I think it was like August, September, and I really enjoyed it. I think this is like some kind of like series, and this is the first book. I haven't read the rest, but I read this one obviously, and I really enjoyed it. I gave this 4.5 stars, I believe, and it didn't take me long because of the front, and it's very like it floppy. That's the word I was looking for. But that's not the good thing about it. This is about Tate and Jared, I think that's how you say it. This is about where obviously Jared is bullying Tate for a very long time, for years. I believe there was friends first. So then this is friends, enemies to lovers, but it is enemies to lovers. I believe there's friends first. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was, because Jared was bullying Tate, but then Tate moved to France for a year, and after a year, Tate decided to move back, and obviously Jared and Tate are neighbours, and when Tate gets back, Jared is still like kind of bullying her, but kind of like ignoring her as well. Like, it's really weird. Anyway, but then eventually Tate gets the courage to like tell him, like, stop bullying me, what have I ever done to you? Because he changed. Jared went to his father's one summer when he was 14 and came back a complete different person, and that really confused Tate, because one minute there was friends, the next he was a changed person and started to bully her for no reason. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I recommend it if you want a bully romance or enemies to lovers trope book. The next book I recommend is Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Again, enemies to lovers. This is a pen pal trope. So this book is about Misha and Ryan, and obviously they are pen pals from when they was in school, like younger, and they've been talking for so many years, and then Misha finds out who Ryan is, and then Misha decides to start going to her school, and so basically he knows who she is, but she doesn't know who he is because he goes by the name Mason in the letters. So it's really fun. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars, and I think everyone's heard about this book, and if you haven't and you haven't read it yet, I don't know what you're doing, because this is so good, and I recommend that it be your next read. The next thing I recommend is Sweet Temptation by Cora Riley. Now, this is a mafia book, so if you're not really into mafia, then I don't recommend this, but if you are into mafia, then I really recommend this. Like, this is such a good mafia book. This was the first mafia book I ever read, and it got me into mafia. I recommend anything from Cora Riley because she writes the best mafia books ever, in my opinion. But this is enemies to lovers because at first, when the marriage has been arranged, they hate each other. Like, they don't like each other, especially Cassio. He doesn't like Julia that much. I think he's more of the enemy to her, but they're not very big fans of each other, let's just say that. But then as she starts to live with him, and they have to kind of force a marriage, like they have to force that connection and everything, the connection does become true, and it's just so good, like so good, and I really recommend it. Like, 5 stars. That's it. And it deserves every star and every read it has got. So the next thing I recommend is Vicious by LJ Shem. This one, again, it's also really good. I think I gave this 5 stars or 4.5 stars, something like that. And yeah, so this is about Amelia and Vicious. They meet obviously when they're younger, and Vicious hates her from the start. Like, doesn't even know her and hates her. So, because her parents work for him, it's just so complicated. And yeah, so all through school, he bullies her for no reason, and then all of a sudden, they like each other. So it's really confusing. Like, you're kind of like, whoa, I thought you hated each other. What happened? But yeah, it's fun. I enjoyed it, and I recommend it if you want an enemies to lovers book. The next thing I recommend, and I'm not going to get them all off the shelf because there is a lot and it's going to be difficult, but is the After series, which is there. Again, this was a series that got me into reading. Like, I read the series, then all of this behind me happened. So I think it's good. Not many people do. Some people say it's a horrible book, it's terrible. Okay, I get that, but it's a fun read. Like, if you're in a reading slump, you read After, you're out of it. At least I am, because it's happened. When I was in a reading slump, I read After again, and it got me out of it. But I enjoyed it, and I get that it's a toxic relationship. It's just a toxic book. But I think it's a fun read. And the last book I'm going to recommend is Try Six Venom by Penelope Douglas. This is her newest release, which I think she released in August. I could be so wrong about that. Either way, I enjoyed this so much. Like, this was the first LGBTQ plus book I ever read, I believe, and I loved it so much. It's also a bully romance, so they're bullying each other. But yeah, it's so good, and I really recommend it if you want an LGBTQ plus book, a bully romance, enemies to lovers. You get it all, and I gave this 5 stars because, like I said, it's that good. Okay, that's all I have for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe, and if you subscribe, comment the blue heart, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye!